Chapter 20, Back to Hogwarts. People are now calling me sexist. Weren't you paying attention when I said I don't share the views of Ron? I say that at the beginning of Chapter 3, if you'll notice. Besides, I can't be sexist because I'm a girl, lol. I'm sorry if you're Team Jacob just one breath 92, but I'm Team Edward. On with the story. I went downstairs the next day. I was wearing a dark green halter top with an orange and blue striped bubble skirt from Old Navy with gray high heels. I had dyed my hair purple today with large blue spots. I also had underwear on. "Hello, everyone," said McGonagall, walking in the door with Dumbledore and Hagrid. "What's up?" asked Draco, wearing a sexy orange suit with purple polka dots on it. He had also dyed his hair olive green. "We must go back to Hogwarts," said Dumbledore in a very serious voice. "We can't let that sexist idiot Ron run that place any longer." "No kidding," I said. "What do you need us for?" "We need you especially, Crystal," said Dumbledore. "You were the one who made all those Dementors go away in your third year. After you get rid of the Dementors around school, me, Minerva, Hagrid, Gilderoy, and Sirius will go in to capture the Death Eaters. You and Draco can also go in if you wish, but Ginny is underage, so she can't go." "No fair!" yelled Ginny madly. She marched upstairs and slammed the door so loud the whole mansion shook, and a chandelier fell on the floor and broke into 12 pieces. "Are you ready to go?" asked Hagrid as Narcissus started to cry about the broken chandelier, which had been expensive. "Yeah, okay," I said. Gilderoy took out a purple lamb sock and made it into a portkey. We all touched and went to Hogwarts. Unlike when I went to the Quidditch World Cup, I walked to the ground with Draco. Only Dumbledore fell to the ground because he wasn't thinking. "Oops," he said, laughing. "The Dementors started flying all around us." "Think of something happy," Sirius told me in a helpful voice. I thought of when me and Draco had sex. "Expecto Patronum!" I yelled epically. The horse thing with antlers came and a big white bubble knocked all the Dementors away like when I did my third year to save Sirius and everybody. "Hurry," said McGonagall. "We have to go into Hogwarts before they come back." We ran onto the grounds, but the Death Eaters started attacking us with wands. "Quick, go into the castle," yelled Gilderoy. "We'll distract them." While Dumbledore, McGonagall, Hagrid, Gilderoy, and Sirius distracted the Death Eaters by fighting them, me and Draco ran inside without the Death Eaters noticing. "I guess it's up to us," I said once we were inside the oak front doors. "We had to stop that sexist idiot Ron by ourselves." To say that this isn't quite as exciting as the epic battle of Hogwarts is an understatement. Chapter 21, The Sexist School. In the entrance hall, we saw the beautiful doors of the great hall had "Gentlemen Go Here" written on it, and ugly doors leading to the kitchen said "Bitches This Way." I couldn't believe how sexist that sexist idiot Ron was. "This is sexist!" I yelled in an amazed voice. "I don't know how we can get into Ron's office," Draco said sadly. "He's probably changed everything since he took over Dumbledore like in our third year for no reason." "Yeah," I said. "I guess I'll have to go with the other girls and you have to go with the boys. Maybe we can convince them to rebel against Ron and kill that sexist idiot for good this time." "Okay," said Draco, "but it'll be hard to convince the boys because most of them are probably sexist. It's worth a try, though." I went down to the dungeons. I saw all the girls wearing ugly gray micro bikinis and walked into the kitchen. Lucius was making them go by, flailing them with a whip. "Make food for the boys and maybe you won't get raped," he laughed evilly. "Stop!" I yelled bravely. "This is wrong and it's sexist." "Why, it's Crystal Potter," said Lucius, twirling his long blonde hair like a mustache. "I see you're not wearing a bikini like you're supposed to." "I won't wear a bikini," I yelled angrily. "If you say so," said Lucius. He did a spell and I was nude. "Okay, I'll wear a bikini," I screamed as I tried to cover myself with my hands, and the slutty girls like Pansy giggled. "I thought you might change your mind," said Lucius in a mean voice. He did the spell again and I was wearing a bikini like the other girls. I started to cry and Hermione and Luna came to comfort me. They had been forced to wear bikinis too, making them look like sluts even though they weren't. Lucius laughed. "Now, will you help the other girls make food for the boys?" he said. "When do we eat?" I asked, feeling hungry. "You get the boys' leftovers," cackled Lucius. "They normally don't have any, but at least we have a system. Besides, girls get thinner when they don't eat." "That's sexist," I yelled. Lucius just laughed his head off like he was crazy or something. "I'll tell Ron we have you now," he said. "Voldy will be so happy we've captured the Chosen One." Then he made us all go into the kitchen with his whip. Chapter 22, Trapped. After we made food for the boys, we went to the girls' common room. It used to be the Hufflepuff common room.
What the hell is a Hufflepuff?
But Ron had all the walls painted pink because he was sexist. Hermione told me what it was like there now. The boys come down here all the time to try to rape us and say sexist things, she said angrily. But we aren't allowed to go up there. All the female teachers got fired, and Bellatrix ran away and went to Voldy because she thinks Ron is too sexist. We've been hoping that she'll convince Voldy to save us. I sighed sadly. Me too. While I can't imagine anyone still in character would want to put up with this shit, this is still a transparent attempt to turn Bellatrix Lestrange into one of the good guys. This isn't quite as common as Malfoy turning good because the author thinks Tom Felton is hot, but this is still a thing in fan fiction. Forgetting, of course, that she is Voldemort's most loyal Death Eater, and most likely insane. You want to know why I showed her defeat at the hands of Molly Weasley in the intro for this Let's Read? It's in defiance of some of the people who think she's a fucking role model for insulting a housewife. The same housewife who then curb-stomped her for killing one of her children. God, sometimes I feel like fiction is operating on a different wavelength than this kind of fan. Who would have thought that we'd be hoping Voldemort to save us, I said. I guess it goes to show how evil Ron is that Voldy doesn't seem so bad anymore. Exactly, Luna said bitterly. We have only one class now, and it's called How to Be a Slut. It's worse than when Voldemort took over the school and had the Carrows teach us. Oh, wait, hold up! Sorry for interrupting twice in the same chapter, but when does this take place? I thought Snape being Potions Master meant this was before Slughorn took over, meaning this has to be after the climax of Order of the Phoenix, but now they're mentioning Voldemort's takeover the school? Why is Dumbledore still alive? Why was Harry, Ron, and Hermione still in school when this all began, instead of on the hunt for Horcruxes? If this takes place in some nebulous time afterwards, like if there was still some time left in the school year, then several of the characters we've talked about should be dead! Hey, I like it like this, said Pavati in a slutty voice. Now the boys can look at most of our incredible bodies. Shut up, you're a slut, I yelled. Suddenly Lucius walked evilly in the door. He was laughing badly. The Death Eaters made Dumbledore, McGonagall, Hagrid, Gilderoy, and Sirius go away, he told us. You and Draco are now trapped here forever. No! I screamed. This wasn't fair. Ron wants me to bring you and Draco up to his office, Lucius conveyed evilly. I think he's going to punish you. I followed Lucius out of the room sadly. Chapter 23. Up to the office room. A.N. I'm not sexist and I'm not a slut either. Lucius dragged me to the gargoyle that went up to the headmaster's office. Wormtail came with Draco. Draco was wearing the handsome silver suit, which was the boys' uniform. He looked sad that they had forced me to dress like a slut. Say the password, Wormtail, said Lucius smugly. Girls suck, laughed Wormtail, and the gargoyle jumped aside. Lucius grabbed my ear and pulled me onto the escalator. Draco and Wormtail followed. Then we walked into Ron's office. Ron had taken down all the pictures of old headmasters and headmistresses and replaced them with moving photos of porn girls. It was disgusting, and I was sure some of them were underage. Ron was sitting on the desk thing, wearing an old-fashioned suit, and smoking a cigarette with his ugly red hair slicked back. He looked exactly like that sexist idiot Don Draper. I bow before you, my sexist master, said Lucius as he and Wormtail got onto the floor. What is your bidding today? Rise, my humble servant, said Ron in an evil voice. Hold Draco so he can watch us. Lucius and Wormtail grabbed Draco while Ron turned to look at me. And so we finally have the chosen one in our hands, he said. Until Voldy gets here, we can do whatever we want to you. What are you going to do to me? I asked in a scared voice. Ron laughed. He reached into his pants and pulled out his wand. No, I screamed as Ron started to play with his wand in his hands. Take off your bikini, said Ron, proudly holding his wand at me. The spell only works if you're naked. No, I screamed, running from the room as Ron made white stuff come out of his wand. Lucius and Wormtail started chasing me. Chapter 24. Draco saves me. A.N. Why is everyone so upset about Ron being slightly OOC? I said I'd have Ron bashing. Oh, and the person who keeps flaming me with different names using anonymous review bud needs to stop reading the story if they hate it so much. I ran down the escalator. Draco did a spell to make Lucius and Wormtail fall, proving he wasn't a sniveling coward. Then he rushed up to me and carried me away romantically. We need to get out of here, I yelled, proactively as he carried me, proving I wasn't a whimpering damsel in distress. Okay, I said Draco as he carried me away to the top of the astronomy tower. Ron had changed it so that you could only see the telescope to spy on girls taking baths in Hogwarts and Hogsmeade as well. Draco gently set me down near where he'd been unable to kill Dumbledore. We're trapped, I yelled in a scared voice. Not for long, said Draco. He took off his jacket and gave it to me so I wouldn't be half naked anymore. What are we going to do? I asked worriedly. This, said Draco. He cast a spell at Hogsmeade. A rope flew out of his wand and attached itself to the top of the 3 broomsticks. Draco tied the end of the rope to the spinny top thing in the middle of the room. He climbed on the rope and held me. Can you handle this? He asked, because he was a gentleman and not a coward like a person needing a lobotomy would think. Yes, just hold me tight so I won't get too scared, I said bravely, since I was not a damsel in distress. Okay, here goes, said Draco. We slid down the rope. I screamed and closed my eyes because I was terrified, but Draco was holding me tight and I knew he would never let go. Then we landed on the roof of the 3 Broomsticks restaurant, or whatever it is. I saw Lucius and Wormtail were sliding on the rope after us. Oh no, I yelled. Stop them! Draco untied the rope from the roof where they were, and it went away. Lucius and Wormtail fell all the way down the rope and into the lake. That'll teach those sexist idiots, I laughed. Chapter 25. The New Big Plan. A.N. I don't get why the haters keep reading this story if they hate it so much. And why do they seem so angry at me? It's not like I'm forcing anyone to read this, and all they do is tell me over and over again the story is awful and I should stop writing. I suppose some constructive criticism would be out of the question or something. Twilight rules! More story. Draco and me went off the roof of the place, but I knew that sexist idiot Ron and the Death Eaters were at Hogwarts and couldn't get us while we were in Hogsmeade. I bought clothes with the money stored up my butt. As soon I was wearing a green tweed sweatshirt and over a red t-shirt with orange polka dots, a purple and gray pleated skirt, and bright orange plastic high heels. I had dyed my hair purple with 6 pigtails, and I also had underwear on. I looked almost exactly like Megan Fox. Draco and I went to see Twilight Eclipse in a crystal ball. That's how wizards watch movies. Before we went to the Hog's Head. Dumbledore and Gilderoy were there. McGonagall was also there, but she was rolling around drunk on the floor. I'm sorry we abandoned you, but there were too many of them, said Dumbledore sadly. Sirius and Hagrid have gone for help. We know where that sexist idiot Ron has his office, said Draco. We could take him out there, but we have to be fast. I suppose he'd get into Hogwarts through the passageway in Honeydukes. Ron knows about that, I said, regretting that I was ever friends with that sexist idiot named Ron. He's probably blocked it. Not likely, Dumbledore reminded me. He is stupid after all. Thank God for that, I sighed bitterly. I'm afraid Gilderoy will have to handle this on his own, said Dumbledore. I can't leave Minnie alone drunk like this. All right, said Gilderoy, standing up. I can take him down. Draco, Crystal, follow me. We followed Gilderoy out into the snow. Chapter 26. Gilderoy is awesome. Me, Draco, and Gilderoy went into the passageway out into Hogwarts. It was just like when Gilderoy bravely entered the Chamber of Secrets to save Ginny. It was too bad that sexist idiot Ron had made Gilderoy lose all his memory before he could get to Tom Riddle. We went out of the statue thing. I'll look around for Death Eaters, said Draco. You go get that sexist Ron. All right, said Gilderoy, gently taking my hand. My heart swelled. I knew I could do anything when I had the handsome man who defeated the Wagga Wagga werewolf by my side. We went up to Ron's office. He had Pansy on his desk, and he was still wearing his Don Draper outfit. Leave the office with me if you don't want to go to Azkaban where you belong, commanded Gilderoy. Make me, laughed Ron. That was a mistake. Gilderoy did a spell that awesomely made giant hands made of light come out to try and grab Ron. Pansy screamed in a slutty voice. Ron started to run away, holding hands with that disgusting slut Pansy. You'll never catch us, he laughed. We'll see about that, yelled Gilderoy heroically. We started to chase Ron. Accio Firebolt, said Ron, and my broom flew into his hand. That's my broom, I yelled loudly. You thief. Girls shouldn't have brooms, said Ron in a sexist voice. It's too much for their pretty little bodies to handle. Ron got on my broom thing, and Pansy got on behind him. She sluttily hugged him with her disgusting slutty arms. Ron kicked off the ground. They're getting away, I explained to Gilderoy. Not if I have anything to say about it. Gilderoy epically jumped out the window and grabbed onto the bottom of the broom. It made him look exactly like Edward Cullen when he runs in the movies. I couldn't believe I ever doubted Gilderoy had done all the amazing things he did in the books. I guess I was just jealous of him for looking so hot. They all flew away with Gilderoy holding the broom. This girl must have never read any of the books or watched any of the movies. She probably only knows stuff about Harry Potter based on what other people told her. It's the only explanation I can think of. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. But tune in next week where we'll get an anticlimax and an actual plot development. It'll lead to something stupid, but It'll be a plot development.